So what to do when you're not sure what to do? That is the golden question today.
And clients come to us bumbling through life and not really sure what to do or why. Okay, because this causes them to become unfulfilled and unfulfill their potential. They feel stuck, and ultimately they just start living a life that isn't to their fullest. Maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you can relate to the feeling of unsure what your next step is. Perhaps you know you don't want to stay where you are, but you just don't know, obviously, where to start or where to go. Maybe you're just going through the motions, knowing you're meant for more than this.
Oh yes, I know we've been there, we've felt that way. That is for damn sure, isn't it? So guys, listen, like for me, it was very much a case of going with the flow, right? We hear that going with the flow is like the best thing you can do, and it can be to a point, but for me, it turned out to not be very productive. Like the intention behind it was good, but the outcome wasn't then ideal, because I always felt that maybe I wasn't doing the thing that I was supposed to be doing. And so for me, this resembled in my career. So I, as a lot of you already know, went into my fitness career fresh out of college pretty much, and I kind of just went with the flow. Another course came up and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool, that sounds interesting, I'll go over here, I'll do this. And although it was the same path and the same journey, heck, it's a whole career, like a decade and a half of my life, like pretty much. And like it's led me in the right direction, so fragments of it were accurate for me, but there was always a part of me that just felt that I wasn't using my skill set or my sense of being to fulfill what I was here to do. And it was only later, maybe around 28, that I was like, I'm really feeling it now. Like I was really feeling that sense of feeling a bit stuck in where I was. I got to the point where I was kind of the highest I wanted to go within the industry. I held a role that is only like one of a few of in the entire world, and I didn't really want to go down the operations route, so that kind of I hit the ceiling of what I could do in that industry as well. And that really kind of pushed me to explore more of really what I wanted and what was true for who it is I am. And that's kind of where my sense of not being sure what to do came into play. But obviously we found our way out of that, and I'll tell you that in a second.
Definitely. And for me, I had a similar kind of journey where I got into the kind of health and fitness industry at the age of, 16? So a long time ago now. Long time ago.
Showing your age now, John.
But again, I went through, I kind of, again, fell into it. I did decide to go into it, but it was quite a quick decision, and it was a quick transition. And I started, obviously, as fitness instructor, personal trainer, and I started going, obviously, through the roles to different gyms and so on. And there's always something in the back of my head that I want to go down this route, I want to go down this direction, but I'm not 100% sure of what I actually want to do. So like where I wanted to end up. So I just kept going. Again, I kept climbing the ladder, going from job to job, gym to gym, to the point where I went to obviously like management level, head office level, and kept trying to go to the next step and changing gyms, even to the point changing countries, going to a different gym, different role, all within the same field, while still feeling that sense of there's something more, there's something else there. And I just kept repeating that same habit for many, many years, until I think about the age of 30, 31. And I kept expecting a different result, thinking, okay, if I move to a different country or move to a different gym or move to a different role, I'm going to get what I want, which I didn't actually know at the time. I just thought maybe it's just going to come to me. But I just kept getting the same old result over and over again. And again, it took me a while to realise that method is not going to work.
And so many people do this, don't they? Yeah, like it's so common, and it's okay that you do, because essentially this is what we've modelled, right? We're doing it for a reason. It's coming from somewhere. It's just maybe not the most helpful for us, right? So, for us, it was a case of knowing that we needed to do something more meaningful. And to do that, we at that point, we didn't know what to do, right? We felt like we were stuck in limbo. Like at the time, it's like we can't go this way because maybe that's not it. We can't go this way because maybe that's not it. And listen, the way we found our solution really here was to look within. And as cliche as that sounds, it became this path of self-discovery, didn't it? That, like, in terms of us getting out of this state of limbo, we had to discover more about ourselves and our behaviour, how we felt, and we had to ask ourselves some key questions, and we're going to share those with you shortly.
But what I want to tell you about first is a client of mine. Okay, so I was actually training his wife before I actually started training him. And what happened is this guy, he spent years, obviously different coaches, different advice, trawling the internet for advice, trying to find where to go and what to do in regards to his health and fitness. And kind of what he found was very overwhelming, overanalyzed, didn't really get the results he wanted to, advice from the coaches he was with, so he just stopped doing anything. And he'd done that for many years, and he just, again, trying to find out, okay, I want to do something, but I don't know what to do, I don't know where to start, I don't know why I'm actually want to do it in the first place. And it wasn't until he started seeing the results that his wife was getting through our coaching that he started to ask for help, and that was his first step. He asked for help. He approached me through his wife, and we had sat down and we spent our first session about 2 hours having a conversation, having a chat, asking him questions, and delving deeper into gaining more clarity on actually what he wanted. And once he got that clarity on what he wanted, things started to fit together, and we started to be able to then provide the solutions that were relevant and that he would respond to well. And once those solutions were set in place, he had that clarity, the results he got were just crazy. They just started to go much faster than he ever expected to, with half the effort that he used to put in, because he was doing, again, what was aligned to what he actually wanted, because he knew what he wanted now. He had that clarity, and it all started with him asking for help.
Yeah, that was like his first step, right? So when you're not sure what to do, just asking for help sometimes can really be the way forward. So listen, we've been taught, haven't we, that if we don't know what to do, then we should wait, right? We should wait until we are sure before we make a decision. Okay, so many people are taught this, but actually it's the worst thing you can do. Okay, and this is because it doesn't lead you anywhere. All right, the chances are that day never arrives when you are 100% sure, okay, because we are so conditioned to be full of self-doubt and all of the dangers and the uncertainty in the world and all of those different things. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you just take action regardless and don't think about things, but we've got to take a step back and realise, okay, am I just doing nothing, or am I taking at least some step? Because you don't have to have it all figured out, you just have to have that first step in your mind that you can take action on. And if that first step isn't taking you towards what you want, cool, you get to pick another new first step. That's okay. But taking a step in the first place is absolutely essential. And guys, this could be anything. This could be on a life scale. This could be like you don't know what to do with your life right now. You're not sure what to do. It could be in your relationship, you don't know what to do. It could be in your work. It could be something as simple as you're not sure what to do on your weekends or as a hobby, right? It could be something life-changing. It could be something really small. It doesn't matter. The point is that you need to start thinking about the steps that you can take in order to learn what you can do. And that's what we're going to share with you now.
Definitely. And step number one is about reflecting, okay? So what we're going to do is to reflect and ask yourself, what would you say if you did know what to do?
This is my favourite.
So
any of my clients listening to this going, oh no, here they go again. So what would you say if you did know?
Exactly. So if you ask, I don't know what to do. Now ask yourself, what would you say? What would I say if I did know what to do? So be patient with it and see what pops up, because an answer will pop up. Okay, you just got to be patient. It might take a minute, it might take 10 minutes, it might take an hour. Just reflect on it, ask yourself that question and see what pops up. Okay, then ask yourself, what would my best self do right now? Okay, then you can ask yourself, if I had no limitations, what would I choose to do? Okay, so no limitations at all. Okay, financially, time-wise, whatever it is, what would I choose to do?
Nice question.
Then ask yourself, what would I not like to do right now? This is what you can do, a process of elimination. So if you're still on the fence of what to do, is start writing down, like, okay, what don't I want to do? What do I not like to do? What would I not like to do right now? And then you start kind of pushing away all those things you don't want to do, and you start honing into that thing, and that question, that answer will start to show up of like, okay, this is what I want to do. And then you ask yourself, what choices are the best aligned with my desired outcome?
Guys, just answering those questions will give you so many answers already, but it's essential then for you to sit down and answer and reflect on them, all right? Because like we can't do that part for you. You've got to do that for yourself. But that first step alone is game changing and can literally give you some certainty about what to do next. Okay, it's so powerful.
Yeah, don't expect it to show up in like a minute. Okay, so it could take you. Think about it. Take time. Don't worry about I have to do it within a certain time frame. Ask yourself the question, and as long as it takes. Just do it.
But I would say set yourself a bit of a deadline. So it's like ask yourself the question today, and by the end of the week, for example, you're going to come back and get those answers on paper if you don't do it immediately. Because otherwise, that could go on forever, and you'll end up like his client that just like waited and you know. Yeah.
So when I mean there's no time now, I don't mean take 10 years to figure out, which I did. There's much quicker ways, but I can say if it doesn't come up within the first minute, don't worry. Okay. Could take a little while.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yes.
All right. So another thing that you can do to get sure on what to do is to try different things. Okay, and that might sound super simple, but I mean actually try different things. Not look them up, not Google it, right? Try different things. Go and take action and get a taste of different things, you know? Get a taste of what one decision would be like versus another decision. Attend a class, go and learn something, volunteer somewhere. The point is here, like you want to be figuring out what you like, what you don't like, and what you love, okay? Though that again will give you massive insights into what action you should be taking next.
Definitely. And step 3 here is to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay, this is a big sticking point for a lot of people, is they don't want to go, try new things or go to the next level because it's uncertain. It's uncertain, so when it's uncertain, it becomes uncomfortable, and we don't want to feel that that level of uncomfortableness. So it's about accepting a layer of uncertainty, okay? It's about saying yes if it is aligned with your desired outcomes. So it's where you are now, if you're not happy where you are, it's probably uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable anyway.
So
right?
Why not then push towards where you want to be, which is also uncomfortable, but at least eventually it's going to become comfortable.
Totally, I get that completely. Because it's weird, it's like we're in the illusion that we're comfortable where we are, but actually you wouldn't be complaining about it, or you wouldn't be wishing you were somewhere else if you was actually that comfortable. So maybe it's an illusion. All I can think about what you're saying is if you've seen that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey in it, it's a great movie, go and watch it. If that step resonates with you, it's just a great example of how saying yes to things can actually lead to something really positive, and there's some nice humour in it too. My kind of humour at least. Alright, so guys, another way in which you can start to get sure on what to do with yourself is to look at your role models. And you might be thinking, well, I don't have any role models in my life. Like, my family and my friends are nowhere near what I would call a role model. Okay, cool, chill. Look around. There's billions of people in the world. Pick one or two, right? Some people that really stand out to you, people you respect, people you admire. Maybe they've even achieved something that you want to achieve. And it doesn't matter if you don't know what you want to achieve, but there's something within those people that you admire. There's something within them that you respect. So it's a strong chance that you'll be able to resonate with maybe what they would do in your situation. So take a moment and ask yourself, well, what would they do? If they was where I am now, what do I think they would say? What advice would they give me? Right? And then play with those answers that come up, because again, you have these answers within you and you have access to this. These are all things that you can go away and do right now and gain some kind of certainty around what action you should be taking.
Definitely. And the key, guys, is to becoming aware of yourself. Okay, and it's okay to not know what you want to do, but as long as you're taking action to find out. Okay, this will give you clarity and momentum. And this is the key here. It's like, don't worry if it takes you a week or 2 weeks, a month, or to find out what you want to do. But as long as you're taking action and you're putting steps in place to make sure you find out what you want to do, that's okay. If you're just sitting there, again, like we said earlier, waiting for something to come to you and go, okay, I'm just going to wait to see what happens. You're going to be waiting the rest of your life. Okay, and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, we've said this before, if you are struggling, even with the tools and the thought provokers that we've given you today and actions that you can go and take, if you're still struggling here with this, please reach out to us. Book a call with us and we can talk you through. We can literally jump on a discovery call, which is like 30 minutes. Just that conversation alone can be enough to point you in the right direction. Okay, and that's completely accessible to you. It's accessible to anybody. It is free. It is something that we want to give back to you. Okay, and if there is an opportunity for us to work together in some capacity, then great. But if not, that's okay too. Like, our desire here is to just help you move from where you are now to where you want to be. All right.
Definitely.
All right.
Cool. So that is it from us today. If you've got any questions, let us know, and also we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Otherwise, we're going to see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.